Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Money and Mindset Podcast. I am your host, Sheryka Alford, here with
the beautiful, amazing Anntricia Bray Smith.
And yes, you are all of that, Anntricia Bray Smith. Beautiful, amazing, gorgeous, all the things. I'm so glad to see you. I haven't seen you in a while.
It's good to see you too, Sheryka.
Yes. So we definitely want to get this message out because guess what? It's about tax time.
It's about that time. It's about that time.
Yeah. And so some people are going to be lucky enough to get a tax refund. You know, hey, I hope I'm either one of the lucky ones or at least I don't have to pay. That'll be nice too.
Isn't that the truth? Girl, I already got people contacting me now. You doing taxes this year? You doing taxes this year? So why are you in such a hurry to get these taxes now? Oh, I need some money. I need some money. So this is just right on time with what we have going on right now. And with all the new tax laws and things like that, it's time to take a fresh look at that. I'm kind of hesitant and I don't know if I want to be doing taxes this year or not, but we'll see what goes. Yeah.
Well, hey, I tip my hat off to you because taxes, that's no, not my thing. But anywho, so what we want to talk about today is if by chance you do get a tax refund, or not even just a tax refund, just a bonus or a extra lump sum of money that you don't normally receive, what are you going to do with it? I know in some times past, I've made some mistakes. I get so excited, that I got some extra spending money. And so today we want to kind of try to avoid some of those mistakes. So, Anntricia, can you think of anything that you've done that maybe you would change if you could have after receiving a tax refund or bonus?
Not really focusing in on my financial obligations that I have already, the debt that I have already, and then going and incurring new debts. That's been one of my biggest focus. But today, I have a different type of mindset, and I want to share some of my mistakes, but I also want to enlighten you on some of the greatest mistakes that we're all making, especially when we're small business owners. So it kind of goes both hands. So as I grow and I learn, I want to be able to share that because we're making mistakes on both ends, not only what we're doing with our refund, but as we're filing for those refunds, we're making mistakes on both sides of that. So I'm excited about today. I'm excited. And I also getting a little anxious at the need to go in and seeing what these new tax credits and laws are looking like for this year, because I don't think that what has been occurring in the past up to this point, I think we can those days are kind of minimal now. So we have to be wise in what it is that we are getting and knowing how to utilize that appropriately so that we can avoid these mistakes moving forward, because those big refunds may not be so big after all.
Yeah, especially with the whole tax child care credit and all the things that went on.
Stimulus,
last year. So, the stimulus. So,
yeah.
But anyway, for me, and I wanted to share because I'm all about learning from other people's mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
I can distinctly remember one of my major mistakes that I've made is like I would be so focused on paying off debt. I would get my tax refund and end up paying everybody else, and I felt good, got that dopamine hit because, hey, one down, 2 or 3 more to go. But I did not save any of it for myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And, that's something that I really had to work on getting hammered into my brain is, yes, it's all fine and well that you're like, go get it, pay off debt, but you have to save some for yourself for later to help you prevent falling back into the same problem. So
yeah.
that's one of my big mistakes that I've made.
And that is a cycle. And I think that I've just spoke about this in one of the interviews that I've done, is how when we don't develop and build new habits, we repeat cycles. And so it doesn't matter what amount of money we have, what amount of money we make, without new habits and knowing how to manage that in which we do have and that we do receive, we find ourselves right back in the same predicament, weeks or months down the line. So that's something to think about.
Yes, absolutely. And so kind of the opposite end of that is what I've seen is being so excited at the thought of, hey, I'm going to get some money, that you go out and spend it before you get it in your hand. And they say, well, how do you spend it if you don't have it? Oh, we do it.
We do it every month. We're doing it before we get those paychecks in our hand. Before we get those paychecks in our hand, that we get that paycheck gone. Do you hear me?
Yeah,
it's gone. So we done spent that money.
and what is it, Afterpay? People they can go ahead and order stuff. Way back when it used to be layaway. I don't know if anybody does layaway anymore, but that's another problem.
Buy now, pay later.
Yes, any kind of buy now, pay later. That is a mistake that you don't want to get because
and let's not forget those payday loans. We can't neglect that, because many of our refunds or these lump sums we're getting back from Social Security and some of these other places, disability and all this other VA things. I know people have gotten and are receiving and are expecting these lump sums. And if we don't have a good, clear plan, we're finding ourselves in these same predicaments. So we're expecting this money and we're going to these loan companies or payday advance or whatever, or pawn shops or whatever it is that we do to attain that money, that when that money comes, if it comes on time, it's already gone. And if it don't come on time, we find ourselves in a financial crunch because we were expecting something that we didn't receive. So
yeah, I hear you. So we know all about the mistakes, but what can we do to help avoid those mistakes?
Get a financial education. That's number one. Without a financial education, you're just doing it by trial and error. And this is why we find ourselves in the same predicaments financially. I was in a situation here recently because my circumstances have changed, that I had to borrow money. And so I'm borrowing money with the expectation that I'm going to be able to meet those financial obligations down the line. So really, I'm planning on finances that I may or may not have, or there could be other situations that come up. And so that's something to think about. So with a good financial education, knowing how to manage those funds and putting in a strict enough plan that you're able to meet those financial debts and obligations that you have, that's going to be key into moving forward with not only the tax season, but any other time down the line that you're incurring and receiving income.
Right. Yeah. I mean, because it has to become a way of life. When it comes to managing your money, it's not like let me read these instructions, follow step 1, 2, and 3, do it, and voila, it's done. This is
there's no magic formula. There's no magic formula for this. No one size fit all. Definitely not.
Not. Absolutely not. And so, as Anntricia pointed out, getting a financial education is one way to avoid making these mistakes. Another thing I would say is actually plan to set aside time to focus and think about what it is you're going to do with your money. You have to have a plan for your money, or plan on it just disappearing, and you're not gonna know what happened to it.
Absolutely.
So set aside time, and not, make sure you're not pressed for time, and you don't have a whole lot of stuff going on. You really have to set aside time and plan, make a plan, and figure out what it is you're going to do with your money. If you know that you owe any type of debt, if you know that you do not have savings set aside for emergencies, or if you know that you have not started investing for your future, then set aside time and say, okay, everything's not going to happen all at one time.
Mm-hmm.
But
Absolutely.
each time I get an unexpected lump sum of money, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And so, in addition to getting the financial education, I would say set aside time to plan.
Okay. Another tip I would have to avoid those type of money mistakes, especially during tax refund season, is to collaborate or to invest in a mentor. A mentor is instrumental to keeping you on track, helping you develop those fundamental skills that you need to build financially. And it's underestimated. We think, oh, we got to spend money to keep money or to make money or whatever. Yeah. Anything that's going to improve or going to set you on a path, it's going to be some investment involved in it, but it's going to be the best investment that you can make. So a professional mentor, a business coach, professional, what did you, a blogger,
certified financial planner,
any of that, investing in working with somebody like that. And they are affordable, guys. There are some affordable ones out there. And if you are introduced to one that's not affordable and it's just doesn't meet your needs and it's just not the right one for you, go and seek out additional help. There's all ranges of people who are out here who are available and willing to help you. I myself am a professional mentor, and I do help and mentor in the areas of finances. And Sheryka, she's a professional in what she does. And there's so many more of us out here with resources, and you can't get no more affordable than free. And I know that I offer free resources as well as a one-on-one mentorship to work personally with me at a wide array of cost, and you, like I said, you can't get no more affordable than free. It's just about getting out there, seeking out what you need. And when the money cycle and knowing how to manage that becomes important to you, you're going to do whatever it takes to make that happen. Hey, I've had a young lady come to my house at 9:00 at night to buy my Financial Education Simplified book because she says she's at that point to where she's ready to get these finances in order. And so that was a $10 investment that she made, but she made that being intentional, knowing that she didn't want to go through another year in this financial cycle of being up and down and not wanting to know what to do with your finances. So when you think about investing with a mentor, I have free resources. I have resources as little as $10 that you can make. And then there is another wide variety. So when you reach out to someone for that assistance, know what they offer. And don't try to go for the big thing. The big thing may not, you may not be at that big level yet. You may, advance up to that level as you begin to do the groundwork. But we don't always need to start big. And anytime you got somebody trying to rob you, so to speak, and make you go for the gold already when you're not even ready for the Pee Wee League, then you know that that's not necessarily the one for you. So be smart and wise in who you reach out to. And if they're able to help you, they're going to have a wide array of options and resources available for you that you can afford at the level that you're at. otherwise they are not for you. Sheryka, I'd be interested in knowing what kind of financial assistance that you could give. I know you have some free because you have blogs and things like that. So I'd even be willing to know a little bit about that. And I know you have a financial education book. So I mean, so that's something that I'd be interested in knowing, and it just reassures our listeners that you don't always have to go for here and be robbed and be strung along in a program that you're not ready for.
Right. Yeah, no, that's a whole different topic, things to look for whenever you're seeking a professional mentor or a financial coach or whatever the case may be. And we'll have to do that because there are some things to look out for. And as Anntricia mentioned, yes, I do have resources. Disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor. I am not certified in that in any way. However, I have life experience.
Absolutely.
So I can tell you all about it, but that's not what this show is for right now. But you can go to www.theproactiveplanner.com and also check out the links in the comments for the description for both Anntricia and I both, and get access to our information. But right now, we just want you to start being forward thinking with the sincere hope that you will avoid some of these mistakes that I know that we've all made. And, don't beat yourself up about past mistakes, but let's just make it a point to do better. Getting your financial education, making your plan, collaborating with the mentor, whether it be for business purposes or just personal finance. And guys, just sit back and look, just think, what have I done in the past that has not worked for me? And what am I going to do differently this time around? So we know you may have tax refund coming or bonus or some other lump sum of money. So right now, we just want to encourage you to start planning ahead and figuring out how you're going to divvy that up. And as you're doing it, don't forget about fun. I know I'm all about paying off debt, saving for emergencies, investing, but one mistake that people make and why their budgets don't work is they forget to incorporate that line item for fun. So just remember to include that as well.
Well, another way that, another tip that I have for avoiding these money mistakes as well is to know where to go get your money. Many times we're leaving money on the table. We're spending money unnecessarily because we just take for granted that we have the money today and that it's going to be there. And a lot of times, we leave money. We allow the registers to bring up stuff that we picked up off the shelf that's not showing the right price or the accurate price. We don't know what tax breaks that are for us. So we allow that government to continue to keep money that is due to us and owed to us. We're linked up with tax professionals that are not taking the time to make sure that we get what's due to us when they're doing our taxes, or, they don't know. And so we don't do the research, and they haven't done the research, or they don't have the knowledge. And so we're leaving money on the table, so to speak. And so knowing where to get your money is going to help avoid many of these mistakes as well, because we want what's due to us, and we want to be able to use it as it benefits us in what we're trying to do financially.
Absolutely. Very well said. Well, guys, I think that's going to about wrap up this episode of the Money and Mindset podcast. We're going to allow you time to go somewhere quiet and make a plan. Yes, make a plan, write it down. I know Anntricia, that's her favorite thing. What? Right? No, yes. Write it down, use those memos on those devices, and just make sure you have a plan in advance. Yeah. Until next time, friends, take care.